The rolling metal door is my favorite door to use for constructing Fallout settlements. It can close whenever it's not receiving power, and this is controllable by setting up a switched power pylon for the low-tech version of this, and using the delayed off switch connected to the door itself. The delayed off switch stops transmitting power after a short period of time, which is configurable with the terminal. This is a pretty easy thing to set up for your settlement, especially if you want to control in and out access without NPCs triggering things such as trap pressure plates and even mobs getting into your base. I'll show you how to build one. The rolling metal door is in the warehouse section of items in the workshop. Go to Doors under Warehouse, and there's the rolling metal door. As you can see, the rolling metal door has one pylon connector on the outside, located right here. So this is the outside facing of the door. Generally you want to rotate it to where it's facing like so. I've set up a wall here to provide support for the power pylons that we'll need for this next step. You'll need a small amount of power to get this started, so we'll put a small generator. Next, we'll need the switched power pylon. These have a connecting switch in the front that allows you to turn them on and off. The delayed off switch stops transmitting power after a short delay, as the tooltip says. So we want to put this up here. This will go in between the power pylon and the actual power connector for the door. Now, all you have to do is connect it together. We'll connect power to the switch to the pylon itself. As you see, it turned off pretty quickly. That's the red light. That means that there's no power transmitting. And then we'll connect the delayed off switch to the door itself. You can test this to make sure everything's working properly by hitting the lever. Red means no power, so it's off. Green means it is getting power. And as you can see, it stopped transmitting almost instantly. We can adjust this with a terminal. The terminal is found in the power miscellaneous section right here. It requires one power itself from the generator. It's allowed to communicate with everything on the network. So we'll go to Delayed Switch Control, and here we can choose the setting for it. Currently it should be on the shortest setting. We'll go for 5 seconds to allow us a decent amount of time to get in and out of the door. We'll test this just by activating the switch. And there we are. We can now get out. But what if we want to get back in? We need one more switch. So, for the other side, we'll put down one more switch to activate as the entrance. We'll need a power pylon to transmit the actual power to the switch. Finally, we'll need one more delayed off switch. Now, let's connect it up. We need to go to the same order here, so we're going to go from the generator to the power pylon. This just acts as a beacon here, basically an extension for the generator. We'll connect that here to the switched pylon. The switched pylon then connects to the delayed off switch. The delayed off switch connects to the door. We'll test it to make sure it works by toggling it. Turn it off, back on, and there we go. We're allowed to get back in. And again, since it's so short, we can go ahead and increase the time for them all at 5. You can turn all switches off. And there we go. So you're able to control everything from this terminal. Let's see the whole thing in action. Turn it on. Able to exit. It closes. The off switch activates. Over here. It goes on. We're able to enter again from the outside into our base. Like so. So, the one thing here that might need to be explained is a complication. Why couldn't I just use one delayed off switch instead of, you know, having to have two. The problem here seems to be a limitation of the power grid. Whenever there are two connections to the one off switch, it doesn't seem to work. Seems to be that there's a miscommunication. Let's test this out. We'll begin by removing this delayed off switch. We'll just store it. Next, we'll go ahead and connect it to this delayed off switch. We'll go ahead and toggle all of our switches off. So, now that we've toggled everything off, we'll go ahead and we'll turn it on. Now it will work for the first time. We'll wait for the door to lower. Now what happens when we try to activate the second one? Nothing. As you can see, this has already received the signal that it's meant to, and there's a block of this on signal. So you'd either need to have another terminal on the other side, deactivate all the switches, or you simply install another delayed off switch. So we'll reinstall it. Delayed off, and then that goes to the door. We'll test it out. As you can see, the door opens, even though this is transmitting true on its end. So this is a very simple door setup. There's no need for logic circuits or anything else, just a few pieces of simple electricity control that you can alter through your terminal. There's a more advanced version you could do using laser tripwires that I'll probably show on another video. That way you simply move through the tripwire, and then hopefully we can adjust that through the terminal so that it automatically resets. It's a lot more convenient. But this is pretty cheap to set up. You can do it at the beginning of the game. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll see you on the next one.